Welcome to Semantically Imperfect, where we will identify, explore, examine, and navigate a plethora of topics concerning humanity and human development, moral discourse, parenting, and holistic health. I am yours truly, Semantic7. So glad to have this platform and so glad to be a part of this situation with all of you, this beautiful, inclusive, diverse situation with all of you in attendance. This is Semantically Imperfect, where we champion sensitivity, the fragility of life, humanity, what it means to be human, what it means to go through lived experiences and process those lived experiences, and then look on the other end and say, what have we ascertained from that? This is a space of non-judgment. This is a non-committal space. This is a space where you can be who you want to be. This is a space where all opinions, convictions, perspectives, outlooks are welcomed and humbly invited. It is a privilege to be able to talk to all of you. It is a privilege to be here today, in the here and now, in this present moment, to start this digital platform that invites warmth, invites so many different layers of how to just get through life. There's so many dimensions to that and so many elements to that, and I'm looking forward to crawl down the rabbit hole and peel that onion back to its core. I want to give a little introduction about myself. I don't think that it would be beneficial, nor would this platform be merely a success if I do not warrant the time and the space to let you know who I am and what I represent. As you heard, I go by the name of Semantics, but my real name is Kyle. I'm a Black man from Southern Maryland, raised by a single mother. Joined the military at the age of 18. Served for 12 years and got out. Currently going through the process of getting out on a voluntary discharge. I am married for the last 9 years to a beautiful, beautiful, bold queen. We've been together for a total of 13 years, and we share 2 kids. My boy, Aiden, 8 years old, turning 9 this month, and my daughter, Zanai, who just turned 6. And by the way, we got one on the way. So I would be a daddy, a tree babies. And I'm excited, I'm ecstatic, I'm elated. I'm overfilled with so much joy and happiness that God and the universe have blessed us with another being to mold and shape. But that's me in a nutshell. And believe me, week to week, episode by episode, we will continue to delve deeper, not only into my mind, into my heart, but into my life. And I also would like for you as well, the person listening to this, tuning into this, to look inside your mind and your heart and peel back the onion of your life. And hopefully you'll be able to make it make sense. Enough of that. So happy to be here. Today, the essential question of the day. And I pondered on this for a while. I didn't quite know how to start out the first of many podcast episodes, but I thought it was only befitting, especially with the population boom and the amount of children that are coming in this world, and just with the technological advancements, the hyperinflation, the recession, the Ukraine crisis, to talk about something that is meaningful in the household, something that you probably already know something about. And that essential question is, what are the implications of compassion-focused parenting? What are the implications of compassion-focused parenting? Uh, there's so much that come to mind, don't you think? I'm actually curious, what kind of parent are some of you out there tuning in, listening to this? How would you describe your parenting style? How would you describe your tactics and the methodologies that you use to instill values, convictions, morality, discipline into your child? I'm curious. And as I sit here and I ponder and wander into this broad-based discussion, it makes me think about how I was raised. It makes me think about if compassion-focused parenting was even implemented within my childhood environment. And to be honest with you, I come from a very close-knit, strong, loving, religious family. But compassion-focused was not the at the forefront of my mom's parenting. And that's no fault of her. And I don't want to sit here and make it seem like that you have to be compassion focused in your quest to develop and shape the best possible human being that you can facilitate into this world. What I'm saying is that being compassionate is a critical ingredient in exercising good moral judgment. to improving self-esteem, to improving self-love, to improving emotional language and social skills when interacting in social environments. And so that's why I bring this up as a point of emphasis. Going back, growing up was very enlightening. Now that I reflect on it, a lot of the imagery that I have from growing up was feeling suppressed. And when I say feeling suppressed, I mean I felt my voice was subdued. I didn't think that my voice mattered. I didn't think that I had an opinion. I grew up in an environment where uh, children are to be seen and not heard. And so you never spoke out of turn. And if you did, you were always put in your place. And if you dare to challenge that, the wrath of God will come upon you. And so living in an environment where it was loving, I did learn so much. I didn't always feel that I was interconnected with my mother. I didn't always feel as if she was journeying alongside of me in the pursuit of becoming the best human being that I could possibly be. And then from a smaller scale, just try to figure out what I'm doing. What direction am I taking? Where am I going to go? And again, that wasn't her fault. It's all about the resources that you have available. It's all about the knowledge that you acquire and, and apply. And it's also about where you are in terms of psychologically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, behaviorally. With that being said, I could sure have used a little bit more sensitivity, a little bit more uh, attunement in my childhood. I think that if there were more compassion related conversations, compassion related dialogue, I think that that would have helped me develop the emotional language that would have helped me shape, cultivate, and preserve critical relationships in my adulthood, which then would have also contributed to me being more effective and efficient father. But the thing about life and what I find the beauty of it is that life is a marathon. And even though your childhood and your adolescence is the formative part of your life, and it does play a huge part in your outlook and how you perceive and discern and how you view attachments and relationships. And it also shapes your mental health. I would also say that through it all, it provides you some directional feedback on how to become better, how to get better, and how to do better. And so without the compassion focused practice of parenting in my household when I was a child, I didn't quite know how to have compassion for myself, which led to self-loathing, which led to self-sabotaging, self-criticism, low self-esteem, and which culminated into me not being able to give the best version of myself to my children. Are you guys following me out there? It's okay to be semantically imperfect. No one has the blueprint. And I think that's what makes an enigma of life even more interesting because we got to figure it out. And so going back, that compassion focused parenting, not having that sense of sensitivity, not having that attunement, even though I knew my mother loved me wholeheartedly, with all of her heart, I was lacking in the emotional domain, in the relational domain, in the communicative domain. And I was also lacking in the self-concept domain. When I came across compassion-focused parenting, actually, from my wife. Shout out to my wife, my beautiful, beautiful wife, Ajane. Um, I grew up where spankings and were the norm. She grew up where conversation and dialogue was the norm. And through our marital journey together, she has taught me that in order to train a child, you have to figure out first what didn't work with you and what did you wish that you had in the most idyllic circumstances. And one thing that she brought to my attention was being able to look at the child as a ongoing project, a human first, but an ongoing project. And sometimes for that ongoing project, everything may not go right. And with that project, there's going to be some beautiful, phenomenal things that come out of it. But you just got to continue to nurture, nourish, and enrich that project to become the best product of its environment. And so, with her teaching me about using conversation, dialogue, and an open heart to teach our children, that just opened my mind to so many possibilities. I started looking into compassion-focused studies that are done in therapy for those who are going through self-loathing, those who have low self-esteem, those that don't know how to positively and healthily contribute to their relationships or find so much fault in the world, find so much fault within their social dynamics. So I started studying that, and I learned just how critical and imperative being compassionate to yourself first in order to be compassionate to others. And so, as I've seen now with my children, we do these things called table talks. I know you guys already heard it. I know you guys already heard it. Table talks aren't new. They haven't just, they haven't been reinvented. They have been a symbol within the Black community for hundreds of years. Table talks are very, very enlightening. And it awakes something inside of you that you didn't think that was there, or that was lying dormant, waiting for some type of invite. And so I have these table talks with my children, especially when it comes down to rendering discipline or talking through disagreements or discord, or even when they're presenting undesirable behavior that I believe as a parent and as their vanguard will cause more detriment in their future. And so these table talks are surrounded around not lecturing them, not being dialectic, but getting them to come to their own conclusions, for them to come to their own decisions, for them to be able to identify the problem on their own with some prompting, and to be able to articulate and describe their thoughts and their feelings and their emotions, and then to further conceive a better alternative, considering what's already been done. And so in these table talks with my children, what I've learned is that if you if you embody patience, if you embody tolerance, and then you couple that with unconditional love, support, concern, and regard for their not knowing, and them being little humans that are still observing and absorbing and soaking so much that this digital world has to offer. What you're realizing that what you're realizing that is that children are very receptive. Children are very open to change. That does not mean that the change will happen within a day or a week or 2 months. But if you continue to reinforce every situation that needs intervention, whether it's behaviorally, emotionally, whether it's a habit, whether it's conduct, and you continue to reinforce that with genuine, compassion focused conversation, you will continuously nurture the seed that will one day blossom into ultra self awareness. And so, and when I look back, and when I look back at those table talks that I've had with my young children, just 8 and 6, I have seen now that even through it all, they do implement what we collaboratively come up with as healthy ways of working through social conflict, working through feelings of anger, sadness, distress, habitual items like household chores. I have seen that they are making a conscientious effort into implementing that. Now, it doesn't always, I don't want to sit here and make it seem like that is the formula for all children. But what I will say is look at your childhood trauma and tell me, what do you wish that was different? And are those childhood trauma wounds still affecting you today? If that is the case, maybe an alternative will help rehabilitate those wounds. And if not, it never hurts. It never hurts to look into, process, analyze another perspective of doing something that is contributing to the development of humanity. This has been a great discussion. I've thoroughly enjoyed talking about compassion focused parenting, my history, how the parenting that I grew up with, how it shaped me and how it also enlightened me at the same time. And also how I came to know compassion focused parenting, how I implemented my day to day. I want to leave something with y'all. As you are going through your daily life, whether you're at work, whether you're driving, whether you're fixing meals for your family, whether you're packing up the car to get ready to go on a trip to the park, etc. Or even when you find yourself in situations where conflict, discord is the centrality of the situation. I want you to think about just what does it mean to come out on the other side. The great Maya Angelou said, do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. I am Semantics 7. This is Semantically Imperfect. This has been a blessing. This has been an honor. This has been a privilege. Thank you for going into the depths. And I look forward to speaking to you all, listening to you all, sharing with you all next time. Peace and love.